Resolution Foundation, a think tank not terribly well known beyond the Resolution Foundation. It says that they've got their crystal ball out and they say the damage to the economy caused by Brexit will offset the modest wage gains for British workers in the lower end of the pay scale. The Resolution Foundation, part of its remit is to try and make lower paid people get more money. So you think they'll be quite pleased about that? Apparently not, because it's going to be offset by the cut in immigration is going to be offset by the falling value of the pound and higher inflation. And they make the usual assumption that immigration was the major factor in the referendum campaign. Well, actually, it was a factor, of course it was, but that suits the Guardian and the Resolution Foundation's skewed view of people like me who voted to leave the European Union, that we're swivel-eyed loons, racists and all the rest of it. Yes, we do want controlled immigration, which you can't have in the European Union, but actually a lot of us also wanted sovereignty and Britain to take its own decisions. So they're now saying this is another reason why it's all going to be doom and gloom and despondency. And what I say is, how does the Resolution Foundation know? No other countries left the European Union. We're in uncharted waters. Why don't they say this is speculative? Yes, but why don't they say this is speculative?
I think this is the problem with so much of the kind of Brexit propaganda that you hear from people like Andrew, is that
it's not propaganda. This is propaganda. This is propaganda.
If you don't know what's going to happen, which one's propaganda and which one isn't propaganda?
What's it based on?
Expert analysis. This is the thing. Do you remember when Michael Gove said, we're sick of experts? It's ridiculous. These are people who
These people said that the economy was going to fall off the edge of a cliff. Well, the stock market now is close to an all-time high. We're within about 100 points being an all-time high. That's something they didn't expect. JP Morgan... Well, they didn't have to cut interest rates. They chose to. I think, actually, it was a panic response. But actually, cutting interest rates will benefit people who've got mortgages, it will benefit people who make investment decisions. Of course, it won't benefit if you've got savings. But,
or if a Santander current account won't benefit you either.
Yeah, but there's a lot of guesswork going on here. People said, remember the Chancellor of the Exchequer said there was going to have to be a punishment budget, a budget immediately, they were going to have to raise interest rates. The reverse has happened.
Well, that's because the Chancellor of the Exchequer has changed. I mean, he isn't in his position anymore because of the extreme uncertainty caused by Brexit.
Yeah, look, of course there's uncertainty.
Got an unelected Prime Minister.
Of course there's uncertainty. And we are in uncharted territories. But these think tanks are making massive assumptions based on all the Project Fear garbage we heard before the referendum, which the British public rejected.
But some things have happened, haven't they? Your own paper carried a story last week that 30% of properties that are currently on the market have seen some sort of price reduction.
Well, I think people desperate to get on the property ladder will be thrilled about that.
Yeah, but not people who have put all their savings into buying a house in order to give themselves effectively a pension when they retire.
House prices go up, they go down, and the property market will be just fine. I'm quite sure about that.
But you're saying that everything that has happened so far is speculation.
No, I didn't.
Fear. Well, actually, some things actually happen.
Yeah, and some positive,
We've had run-ins about this.
Some positive things have happened. So the stock market has done very well. It's soared. It's much higher than before Brexit. That helps people's pension funds. That helps a lot of things.
Do you know
and
what?
they've cut interest rates.
The thing is,
that's going to help a lot of people.
I think we can both agree that I want you to be right. I really do.
Good.
But I have a serious concern that by choosing to leave the European Union, we've committed the biggest act of national insanity since the last biggest act of national insanity.
What was that? Vote in Labour.
What do you think? Cloning Dolly the sheep? I don't know. But I do think, every time I come on here and I talk about how passionate I was about remaining in the EU, I get slaughtered online by lots of people who, quite rightly, have a complete right to their own opinion and who believe fervently that they should have left the EU. I respect that opinion. But I get accused of not caring about low-paid workers and people who are affected in northern, often working-class communities by an influx of immigrants, and that is simply not the case. My issue is that by leaving the EU, I don't think we're going to rectify those problems. And let's not forget that by being a member of the EU, we got maternity leave, we got paid holiday, we got access to the minimum wage.
We didn't have that before, did we? You say maternity pay, Elizabeth, wasn't around, that we've only got these things because of the common market. It's ridiculous.
What about the national minimum wage?
I mean, you were saying earlier that people will start defecating on the beach because we're leaving the European Union.
I wasn't saying that.
To do with the EU.
I didn't say that. What I said was 100% of our environmental legislation has been drawn up
why should it be?
Through our EU
and why
membership.
Should it be? Why should it be?
Whether it should or shouldn't be, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and it's going to take us years. It's going to take us years, and that's just one example.
Why does the EU have to tell us how to look after the environment? They're no good at it. Why are they any better? Why do they know better in Slovenia than we do here?
I think you're missing the broader
No, I'm
point
not
that I'm
missing the
making,
point.
which is that we're just going to have to go back to the drawing board on such a seismic scale that I worry that will cause decades of uncertainty, financial, legislative, governmental. You've got Liam Fox scrabbling around needing trade negotiators. He's only got 100 and he wants 1,000.
No, do you know, what I worry about more is that we stayed in this basket case called the European Union, which is what it is, paying more than we're getting out of it.
And now we've got all that lovely money for the NHS, £350 million a week, apparently.
Most of the Eurozone is in recession and it's getting worse. The Italian banks have run out of money. Greece is teetering on the edge and they're still ploughing on with ever more integration, thinking they know best. Do we really want to be governed by 5 unelected presidents and be told what to do by 27 other countries? No, we don't.
No, well, and we're not going to be.
No.
That's the point.
And the
We don't
Resolution
need to rerun
Foundation,
that.
they might as well just go and talk to Mystic Meg for all they know about it. And
Well,
remember,
so
one of
might
the
as well
great, can I tell you one of the
Brexiteers might
great
as well go and talk to
luminaries of
Mystic
this
Meg.
think tank is a man called Torsten Bell. Do you remember him? He worked for the Labour Party during that glorious election campaign run by Ed Miliband, and he was the architect of the Ed Stone. Do you remember the 8 promises or the 10 promises carved in stone? Where is the Ed Stone? In tatters, like the idiots who've written this report.
I don't know if it is actually technically intact.
I think it's been crushed. Haven't they smashed it to pieces? Isn't it in a
They sell it
warehouse in
commemorative
South London
chunks,
somewhere?
like the Berlin
They should
Wall.
sell it like the
They should
Berlin
sell
Wall.
it. They should sell it off.
Anyway, where is Torsten Bell?
Anyway, let's move on.
Sounds like he should be in a Danish crime drama.
Yeah.